Yeah, hello. This is lesson 82, and the title of this lesson is Counting Cards. Yeah, okay, I believe this is a challenge, right? Okay, let's head right into it. In the casino game Blackjack, a player can gain an advantage over the house by keeping track of the relative number of high and low cards. Okay, casino game Blackjack. I have no idea what this is, but I believe we'll get to understand it as we read. So a player can gain an advantage over the house by keeping track of the relative number of high and low cards, okay, remaining in the deck. This is called card counting. Having more high cards remaining in the deck favors the player. Each card is assigned a value according to the table below. When the count is positive, the player should bet high. Okay. When the count is zero or negative, the player should bet low. Okay, so we have count change plus one, then we have cards two, three, four, five, six, count change zero, card seven, eight, nine, and all that. So getting into the challenge, it says that you will write a card counting function. Okay, it will receive a card parameter. Okay, we have our function here. It will receive a card parameter which can be a number or a string, all right? And increment or decrement the global count variable. Okay, so this is the global count variable, all right? And so we are asked to increment or decrement the global count variable according to the card's value. Okay, so this is yeah. The function will then return a string with the current count and the string bet. If the count is positive, it will return a string with the current count. Okay, so there are two things the string is supposed to contain: the current count and the string bet. If the count is positive or hold, if the count is zero or negative, the current count and the player's decision bet or hold should be separated by a single space. Okay, okay, that is interesting. So okay. So current count minus three hold. This is an example of the output five bets. All right. So it says okay. Our hint is do not reset count to zero when the value is seven, eight, or nine. Do not return an array. Do not include quotes, single or double in the output. Okay. All right. So let's begin. So the function will return a string with the current count and the string. So what do we need here? Okay, I think we should have either a two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, uh, 10 JK, 10 JQ. Okay, if you're watching this right now and you have an idea of what we should do, you could just type it in the comment section. I would like to see what you think. I'd like to know what you think. All right. Do you think we need an if else? Doing the switch statements, what are we supposed to do here? Is to receive a card parameter which can be a number or a string. So these are examples of the kind of parameters that we should be expecting, and then increment or decrement the global variable according to the card's value. Okay. The function will then return a string with the current count and a string bet. So I believe that since the card could have so many values, and then for a set of values we have to produce a particular kind of result, I think that either the if else or the switch statement will work perfectly well. But then I believe that, or according to what we've been learning, all right, a switch statement will do the work better. So let's start writing some code. So we have our switch part, and then yeah. So we have case two. I hope we still remember this. Case three, because they all fall under the same or they all have similar count change, the same count change, which is plus one. So let's case three, and remember it's a colon, right? Not a semicolon. Case four, case five, case six. And then for this, we're going to either increment or decrement our global count variable. So we're going to have count plus equal to 1. And then the next thing is to, right, return what? What are we returning again? We're returning the value, right? Return a string with the current count. Okay, I think the current count should be this global count variable. And, then bet or hold, depending on if the value or the current count is negative or positive. So okay, that's interesting. We need an if statement, okay, to know if, to find out if the value is positive or negative. All right, so we'll say if count is greater than um 0, right? So we should return um count, right? Count plus, we need a space between, right? Plus hold. Okay, let's just put is it hold or bet? I think it's bet, yeah. So else, I don't need to put else if, because obviously if it's not greater than 0, it should be. Okay, what if it's 0? What are we asked to put? Okay, if the count is 0, okay, 0 or negative, all right, okay. So if it's 0 or negative, we're returning count plus hold, right? Yeah. I believe that's what we're asked to do. Yeah. Then the next thing is to break, right? Hope you remember our switch statement, how it works. Okay, we already have return here, so there's basically no need to break, because return ends the whole function. So should I be using return here, or should I have another variable? What do you think? Okay, let me have a result up here. All right. Let's call it let let me just call the result. For now, it's just an empty string. So um yeah. So then we have that result. Result is equal to this, and the result, so it's equal to this. So we can have a break. I really don't want to get rid of this break. It would have still worked the other way, with the return, but I don't want to confuse anyone here, because we've been used to the break, I believe. So let's just keep it this way for now. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. Right. So the next set of values we have are 7, 8, 9. So we have case 7, case 8. I hope no one is getting confused. I hope this is, I believe this is quite easy to understand. So, yeah. So if it's 7, 8, 9, it's just going to remain at 0. So do I say count plus equal to 0? There is really no need to do that. We could, to make things look what's it called? To make it look, maybe if someone is reading a code and maybe they could understand it, but there's really no need to add 0, because 0 doesn't make any difference. So I think for now I'll just leave it out and just go ahead and set the result to um so if count is greater than 0, result equal to count plus. Okay, I think that there's something we need to do here, because we will have to repeat this over and over again, and it's not so it doesn't speak well, but I think it should be at the base, at the bottom, all right? it should be at the bottom because repeating this same thing here and here again is not good coding practice, all right? Because it's basically the same thing. So I think at the end of the whole switch statement, we could just, then put um add this. So let me remove this, yeah, and then just go ahead and just break this. I really don't want to use that count plus equal to 0, but I hope no one is getting confused because obviously adding 0 to something is not going to add make any difference. So that is why I wanted to leave it there. But let's just leave it this way for now. Okay, then the next part is case 10, case J. This is a what you call a string. Yeah, case what now? Q case K case A. Alright. And this is supposed to have count minus equal to 1 or minusing 1, but we could also do it this way, count plus equal to minus 1, which is just simply adding minus 1 to it, but they are both the same thing, and this is kind of shorter, so let me just leave it like this. I hope you understand it to break. So after our switch statement, right, I want us to now have this, okay? And I think it's going to be safe to actually use return here, instead of putting it inside a variable, just return it right away. But since we've already done this, let's just continue. Let's just go ahead and type return results down here. Okay, I think it's gonna be best to just return this. Yeah, it's to make things shorter and concise. Okay, so yeah. So don't change me. Do I have to remove this? I don't need this. And then I don't need this either. All right, so let's go through the code. So for the values 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we are going to add plus 1 or add 1 to the global count variable, just like we're asked to do here. Where is it? Um, yeah, increment or decrement, yeah. So, but for case 7, 8, 9, I really don't have to do this. Let's just remove this. Okay, so we're not adding anything. Or is it possible to add 0 to something and then it increases or decreases? It remains the same, alright? So I want to it's better to remove that. So but this is based on depends on if you're working alone, such kind of lines of code. Some people might want it to add it so that for more someone can understand when they are reading the code. But this is really not necessary. Maybe if you're working in a company or an organization and they want you could ask them, okay, would you want me to leave this? Because some people might want it so that the code can be easy to understand and all that, all right? So I'll remove it because there is really no point, okay? So so for case 789 we have to add 0, which is and for case 10 JQKA we have to remove 1, and yeah. So after that, we're going to now find out the what exactly we should return. So if the count is greater than 0, right, we return the count value plus the bet, and if it's less than or equal to 0, then return hold. So now the moment of truth. All these things we are writing, we are typing. Is it correct? Okay, there are a lot of stuff here. I wish I could. How do I just console the log everything at once? Yeah, that's actually possible, right? Control the log can accept a lot of variables. So I could just separate them with commas. I hope this is not confusing anyone. Control the log is like a function and it can accept as many variables as possible. Okay, so for this C2 We have one bed, two beds, one bed, zero. So I think this is correct because wherever you see zero or there is hold. So, but this aspect is correct anyways because according to the our question or the challenge, when we have a count value of zero or less than zero, it should have hold. And then if it's greater than zero, it should be bet. So this looks good for now. And our code also looks good. So let's see what they have to say about this. um, Let me undo my changes. All right, so let me go ahead and run the test. Okay, let's look at this. Do not return an array. We are not violating anything here. Do not reset count to zero when value is 7, 8, or 9. What does that mean? When value is 7, 8, or 9. Okay, no, we didn't do that, right? We didn't reset it to zero. And do not include quotes in the output. And in our output, as you saw, when when I logged it, there were no quotes in it. So let's run the tests. And wow, wow. That was pretty long, but I believe we all learned something. Yeah. So it's quite easy, and I hope you enjoyed it because I also did. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment if you have a question. I will personally attend to you. I'm serious about it. So go ahead and drop a comment if you have a question, or if you need a one-on-one session with me, self, you can have it. Just drop a comment. I'll see it and I'll reach out to you. Thank you so much for watching. This is quite long. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.